Welcome back to PST channel! Today, we're going to explore Final Fantasy III, the most classic and notable game for job change system in the series. The prophecy of Gulgan foretold that the earthquake was only the beginning. The great tremors that swallowed the crystals, the light of the world, only to spawn monsters from the depths of the scarred land. But that was just a prediction of things to come. The ominous suffering was fathomless, but hope was not lost because of the four souls blessed with the light. And so it began. Luneth, an orphan raised by Nina and elder to Papa in the village of Ur, had an adventurous spirit. His curiosity led him to fall into a hole created by the great earthquake. He was attacked by the land turtle. Upon defeating it, he was chosen by the crystal. The crystal declared that darkness was consuming the land, and the disappearance of light had caused an imbalance. There were others who would share the same fate as him. He was to seek out the other lights as the last hope. When Luneth returned to the village, he helped his friend Ark, who was being bullied by the village children. Ark was Luneth's best friend and another orphan raised by elder to Papa. They had different personalities. Luneth loved reading and learning. Upon returning home, elder to Papa learned about Luneth being blessed by the crystal. He then revealed Luneth's origins. A man with burn scars brought him to the village as a baby. Luneth learned that Nina was his adoptive mother, who gave him her blessing before he departed. In the village of Kazus, Luneth met Ark, who wanted to join the journey to prove he wasn't weak. Luneth agreed, and they both traveled to the home of the mithril smith, Taka. Taka was cursed with invisibility, preventing him from forging a mithril ring to break the curse. His daughter had disappeared. She was unable to endure his harsh training. Others in the village were also cursed, including Sid from Canaan. He was stuck because the Nell Valley was blocked by a rock slide. He offered Luneth and Ark his airship to find the way for Curse Lift by defeating the Djinn, who had been banished to the sealed cave but was freed when the earthquake happened and returned to curse the villagers. On the airship, they met Refia, Taka's daughter. They asked her to forge a mithril ring, but she wasn't confident and suggested they should ask King Sasune for the ring he had received from her father. She joined them to help her father and the villagers. At Castle Sasune, they met Ingus, who led them to the king. The king of Sasune was also cursed by the Djinn. The mithril ring used to repel the Djinn's curse was with Princess Sarah, who had disappeared. Ingus worried that Princess might have been kidnapped and volunteered to join the journey. Ingus, a loyal soldier, prioritized Princess Sarah's safety. The four found Princess Sarah in the sealed cave, who joined them to help the villagers. But the ring had no effect on the Djinn because he had gained dark powers. They had to fight the Djinn. After winning, Luneth, Ark, Refia, and Ingus were summoned by the crystal and chosen as the Warriors of Light. They were the world's last hope. If the light faded, the balance would be destroyed forever. They returned to the castle and met Princess Sarah, who threw the ring into the sacred spring to lift the curse. The king allowed Ingus to join the journey as a warrior of light. Princess Sarah was sad to part with Ingus, but she bid farewell with a smile. Taka took Refia home. Sid asked them to take him back to Canaan to his wife. He and Taka discussed destroying the rocks blocking the Nell Valley with the airship, and asked Taka to build an airship bow from mithril, with Refia assisting. Refia waited on the airship and shared that she was an orphan, surprising the others who were also orphans. They used the airship to ram the rocks, damaging it. In Canaan, Sid volunteered to build them an airship. He could build the hull, but they needed to ask King Argus for the engine. Sid's wife was ill and needed an elixir from Dragon Peak. They met Selena, who longed for Dash. He had gone to Dragon Peak and hadn't returned. The four wanted to help find him. The four traveled to Dragon Peak and found Dash in the dragon's lair. The five escaped together. Dash had lost his memory but knew he had a duty to fulfill. He joined their journey. They encountered the gnomes, who were searching for medicine to help the village of Tosis. The village was so small that only gnomes could enter. The five used magic to shrink themselves to enter. In Tosis, they heard about the village's soul doctor, Shelko, who had fallen ill. After helping the doctor, he opened a secret passage for them to travel to Viking's Cove. The pirates there told them they were once masters of the sea until an earthquake awakened a sea dragon that sank all their ships except for the Enterprise. They couldn't defeat the dragon and asked the Warriors of Light to defeat it for them in exchange for the Enterprise. At the Nepto Temple, they found a dragon statue with a gem on only one eye. After entering the dragon's mouth and fighting the giant rat, to find a gem for the other eye, the Nepto dragon regained its spirit to protect the waters. The dragon told them the water had lost its light because of the earthquake and gave them the fong of water before returning to slumber. After helping Sid's wife in Canaan, he gave them something from the old airship hangar. The four traveled to Takal and spoke with the elder, who told them about soldiers who appeared after the earthquake and kidnapped people. In the village of the ancients, the villagers told them this continent was a floating continent, created by an ancient tribe to balance light and darkness. But their overuse of light caused the Wrath of Light catastrophe. Now, darkness was bringing disaster. In Gulgan Gulch, the blind villagers with clairvoyance sensed the power of fire from the dwarf island and predicted ominous futures. They said if darkness enveloped the world, it would be consumed by the void. They told the Warriors of Light to go to the Tower of Owen, where a fate connected to Desh awaited. They journeyed to the Tower of Owen and fought Medusa, who was sent to destroy the tower by Xande. Dash remembered everything. He was from the ancient tribe that protected the tower. If the tower was damaged, the floating continent would be propelled away from the sun. He went inside to restore the tower and sent the four back to the Enterprise. The dwarves in the Dwarven Hollows told them that Gutsko had stolen the Horn of Ice. The dwarves couldn't swim, so they couldn't follow him. The Warriors of Light fought Gutsko the Rogue and retrieved the Horn of Ice. But Gutsko tricked them and stole both Horns of Ice. The dwarves asked the Warriors of Light to fight Salamander in the Molten Cave. After defeating him, they received the power of the Fire Crystal and retrieved the Horn of Ice. The Warriors of Light returned to UR and were kidnapped to be slaves at Castle Hine. Hine had cursed the Elder Tree in the Living Woods and transformed it into his castle. King Argus was also imprisoned there. After defeating Hine, an earthquake occurred. The Elder Tree thanked the Warriors of Light and gave them the Fong of Wind. They had to leave the floating continent and return to the surface of real world, now a world of darkness. At Castle Argus, the king gave them the Wheel of Time to give to Sid to transform the Enterprise into an airship. Sid told them that 10 years ago, darkness enveloped his airship, and it was damaged. Besides Sid, 4 children survived, the Warriors of Light. He didn't know what the world was like after being covered in darkness. The Warriors of Light entered the wrecked ship and met an elder caring for a priestess named Arya. He told them darkness had consumed the world, causing time to stop. Arya tried to stop it, which weakened her. Arya asked them to take her to the water temple to break the seal on the crystal shard. If the water crystal regained its light, it would dispel the darkness and restore time. At the Cave of Tides, Arya broke the seal on the water crystal, allowing the Warriors of Light to gain its power. Arya shielded Luneth from Kraken's attack, who was under Xande's orders to steal the light. They fought Kraken. After defeating it, Arya gave them the power of water before passing away. An earthquake occurred, the darkness disappeared, and the surface world reappeared. An old woman told Luneth in a dream to seek out Doga to deal with Xande. He woke up in Amor. The townspeople had no memory of the time when time stood still. Their airship had been chained up by Golder, who feared the 4 was Warriors of Light. Golder Manor was next to the bottomless bog, which required Levi grass shoes to cross. An old woman named Delilah had these shoes. 4 old men who thought they were heroes went ahead to Delilah first. The Warriors of Light saved the 4 old men from monsters, making them realize they weren't heroes. They helped by talking to Delilah to give the Warriors of Light the shoes. At Golder Manor, they found the Earth Crystal. After defeating Golder, he destroyed the crystal. The Warriors of Light returned to Saronia Castle but were attacked by cannons, damaging their airship. Inside the castle, soldiers were fighting amongst themselves. The 4 met the Crown Prince, Uhlus, who said the king had ordered the soldiers to fight each other, and he wanted to stop his father. Ark wanted to help Uhlus and took him to the castle. The soldiers allowed them to stay the night. The king attacked Uhlus, manipulated by Gigameth. The king stabbed himself. The Warriors of Light fought Gigameth. The king admitted he was controlled by Gigameth and entrusted the kingdom to Uhlus before dying. Engineers in the castle repaired the airship and named it the Nautilus. At Doga's manor, Doga told them he was one of Magus Noah's 3 disciples. Noah gave magical power to Doga, the world to Unei, and a life with a lifespan to Xande. Xande, dissatisfied, summoned darkness to stop time, allowing him to live forever. But when the light appeared, time resumed, so Xande planned to summon darkness again. Doga made their airship able to dive underwater. At the Temple of Time, they found Noah's musical instrument that could awaken Unei. Doga departed to find the Eureka Key. The Warriors of Light went to awaken Unei to get the invincible airship, which could fly over the highest mountains. Unei gave them the Fang of Fire, saying the 4 elemental fangs were necessary to destroy the statues protecting the tower. They needed the invincible to get the Fang of Earth. They traveled to the Cave of Shadow to retrieve the Fang of Earth and fought Hecatonkir. Doga and Unei told them powerful weapons were sealed in Eureka, but they needed to repair the Eureka Key, which would use all of their life force. The Warriors of Light had to fight Doga and Unei. Doga told them Xande was at Crystal Tower. The Warriors of Light destroyed the statues to cross the mountains to the Ancient's Maze, received power from the Earth Crystal, and fought Titan. They journeyed to the Crystal Tower, using the Doga Key and Unei Key to open the entrance. Inside, they found a large mirror that would curse anyone who looked into it. Doga, in spirit form, said he would find 5 pure-hearted people to help suppress the curse. He brought Sarah, Sid, Dash, Uhlus, and one of the 4 old men to help. The Warriors of Light then fought Xande. Xande said darkness had arrived and couldn't be changed. The Cloud of Darkness appeared, saying it would return the world to the void. The Warriors of Light were defeated. Doga and Unei revived them and explained that Xande summoned the Cloud of Darkness without realizing he would be consumed by it. They entrusted the Warriors of Light to maintain the balance between darkness and light. In the world of darkness, the Warriors of Light found the sealed crystals and fought Cerberus. They met one of the 4 heroes who stopped the wrath of light. He said light and darkness attracted each other, and if they touched, they would cancel each other out, leaving emptiness, the void. But there was a power that could resist the void, hope. They fought Echidna, and met another hero. He said the Cloud of Darkness appeared when light consumed the world before. Only the Warriors of Light could stop it now. They fought Ahriman. Another hero said light and darkness must coexist. If they didn't stop the Cloud of Darkness, both worlds would be consumed by the void. They fought the 2-headed dragon, and met another hero. He explained that the balance of light and darkness was maintained by the 4 crystals. When Xande stopped time, 2 crystals were sealed, causing the Cloud of Darkness to appear. It wanted to seal the other 2 crystals on the floating continent. The Cloud of Darkness wanted to bring the void to the world. The Warriors of Darkness appeared and joined forces with them. They clashed with the Cloud of Darkness, but it said destroying the sealed crystals was useless. They had to fight the Cloud of Darkness. A voice narrated the beginning of the world is the void, then light and darkness, then everything else. Life gave birth to something more special, hope. When the balance was broken, the cycle returned, and the 4 warriors would be chosen to save the world. Time might consume everything, but they must fight and find the light of hope. The Warriors of Light left the world of darkness and met their companions before parting ways. Dash met Selena. Ingus and Sarah spent time together before returning to Sasune Castle. Luneth, Ark, and Refia returned home. Light returned to the world. And that wraps up the epic journey of Final Fantasy III. But the adventure doesn't stop here. Next time, we'll dive into the story of Final Fantasy IV, where new heroes rise to face against his own brother who joined the dark side. Make sure to subscribe to PST channel, Gaming Stories for Life, and stay tuned for more RPG classics. Thanks for watching, and see you soon!